No Beaver today?
No.
Right.
We are officially live. What's up, everybody? Long time no see. I didn't bet either of the early MLB games. I saw the Pirates lost, right?
Yep. Gave out the Tigers on the VIP. Gave out Baltimore on the VIP. We could be sitting in a little 2-0 before the show ends.
Baltimore played, and I gave out Baltimore on YouTube and forgot to bet it.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's the worst.
I just realized that because I had the NBA show this morning, so I wasn't even thinking about it. I said Orioles money line. Did they win, or are they winning right now?
No, it's 3-1, top of the sixth. They've got a man on second.
Oh, so they could still lose that.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. By the end of the show, hopefully I'm 2-0.
Got it.
They did get lucky
though. So we have 13 more games to get through. So let's go ahead and get started. First one. The White Sox and Toast. I tried to tell you. You didn't want to listen to me yesterday. I said you commission prop Beaver all like those White Sox. You guys don't want to listen to me.
No. I said that there's no way in hell I was paying that price for Cleveland in that spot. I didn't bet the White Sox.
Oh, that's right. I think the other two guys did.
Commish did. Yes.
I think Beaver might have also.
But,
so I went with the under in this series yesterday and it hit.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably a good look, too. I personally paired the Guardians and the Diamondbacks last night, both to win today. It was plus 133 last night. It's probably gone down a little bit. But, I mean, just really quickly, there's no reason. I don't really have to go into a whole bunch about Cleveland facing the White Sox. Michael Soroka has been pretty damn terrible. I know he looks decent against the Royals, but they're really not a really good hitting team, especially against right-handed pitching. And Logan Allen is a really, really good pitcher that I think could be one of those quote-unquote bet-on type of pitchers. 2 road starts this year, looks pretty decent in them. I think they get the job done. Every major piece in the Cleveland bullpen is ready to go. So, yeah, like I said, I think Cleveland's a nice pair piece today with somebody if you like somebody else.
So it's Cleveland. Who did you say you were pairing them with?
Arizona.
All right, Cleveland, Arizona, money line.
It's not the best day for dongs there, is it, Modi?
What bad?
It's not the best month for home runs.
I don't know about I was just talking about the weather today. That's all.
Yeah, I mean it's just too cold. Like realistically, I should have started in May when it gets warmer, but I wanted to be there from the beginning.
So do you have anything for this, Matt?
Yeah, I do. So I'm glad that you said Logan Allen is a bet on pitcher because I have him over 5.5 strikeouts. It's plus 142. He's not like a super strikeout guy by any means, but I just like the matchup against the White Sox. Like they've been striking out by far the most against left-handed pitching. Granted, like this early in the season, some teams haven't seen a ton of lefties, but they have a strikeout rate of 35.9%. For context, last year, the team with the worst strikeout rate against lefties was at 26%. And right now, they're basically 10 percentage points above them. And you look through the lineup. They have like 7 guys that see time for them that strike out over 25% of the time. That's kind of the number I look for. I think technically Fangraphs calls 27% and above bad. I just call it an even 25 because that's just easier. Gavin Sheets has 2 at-bats against lefties, struck out both times. Starting first baseman Andrew Vaughn has a strikeout rate of 33.3% against lefties. Benintendi, Paul DeJong have each struck out like 60% of the time. Granted, only 7 at-bats, but still. Yohan Moncada, I think I'm butchering his name, but Kevin Pillar.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, good for me. And Kevin Pillar, a third of the time, have been striking out against lefties. Like it's just such a good matchup for left-handed pitchers getting a bunch of strikeouts against the White Sox. And for the price of plus 142, like that, I'll hit that all day. Half unit play on all these strikeout props, just to be honest with people, but that's what I went.
Also, just to add to his argument, Martin Maldonado hitting in the 9-hole strikes out like 32% of the time, so even worse.
Toast, aren't you probably no Class A, right?
Yeah, everybody else is good to go, though. I don't care.
You think
Hunter Gaddis is pitching on another level right now? Like I'd almost rather have.
He pitched 2 of the last 3 nights too. Only 13 pitches, so he didn't throw a lot, but he did pitch 2 of the last 3.
I think Hunter Gaddis is still available at 26. He's been going every other day.
Why don't we
go instead of if we need to? But even if I have Barlow and Sandin, and Beebe, I'm fine. Like I'm really not worried about it anyway.
I mean, I agree that Cleveland, you got to go Cleveland, but instead of risking a Cleveland bullpen, why don't you? I was thinking Cleveland team total over. Just fade Soroka.
Yeah, I was that Cleveland first 5 run line. I mean, anything like that.
Oh, it's juiced to hell.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Minus 140 to play 4.5. Yeah, so now this will be a pass for me. Cleveland team total would be, but you got to play a really juiced 4.5. So this will be a pass for me.
Yeah, no.
There's no way I can bet the White Sox. I can tell you that. 74% on Cleveland. All right. Let's move on to game number 2, or game number 4, technically. Brewers at Reds. And how about those Reds, Toast?
Yeah, did you bet that one last night? I don't remember. I didn't have a play on this one. So
no, I was the only one on the show that took the Reds, but I actually didn't bet it. I would like to sit here and lie and tell you I did.
Glad. You know what? I'm glad that I didn't, because I was leaning Brewers, but I needed to see what's his face pitch yesterday, and it didn't look very good. So I'm glad I passed on this one.
Well, I'm down to go Brewers here if you tell me something about whoever Ross is. I'm down to fade Montas.
Really? Because he's looked really,
I know
really
he looks
good.
really good, but I still don't trust him.
I don't trust him either. This is a hard one for me. Joe Ross, he's coming back from injury. He was hurt. He looked fine in his first start, but again, that was against Minnesota. But I mean, again, these are going back to 2021. I mean, decent numbers against Cincinnati. Obviously, the players has changed, but again, it's just really hard to get something out of Joe Ross. I don't expect him to pitch terrible. But I actually think this is like, I was trying to go sneaky under because I thought that maybe like both of these pitchers might actually pitch well after that explosion yesterday. But then if you take a look at the bullpen situation, it's really, really nasty, especially for the Reds. I'm trying to get to their page right now. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Diaz has went 2 of the last 3 days, so he's not going to be there. Sims went 17. Cruz went 14 yesterday. So even though those guys are available, they're not going to be 100%. And the Brewers just saw them yesterday. And the Brewers, their top 3 of their top 4 arms didn't go like yesterday's, and Piamps only went 14. So it'd be Brewers or pass. But it's just really hard for me right now. But yeah, it's Brewers or pass for me.
I think I feel stronger about it than you do with Brewers. I think, dude, we've seen years of data from Montas. So he's yet to prove us he could be effective for long stretches away from Oakland. And just 2 starts, and all of a sudden we're going to trust him. I think the Brewers have plus money with a depleted Cincinnati bullpen. I think this is the move here. I think I might bet this one. I'm putting this on my list.
There you go.
That pie chart like Super Brewers, or
no? It looks like it's a pros versus public. Public on Cincinnati. Sharp
then I'll bet. Then I'm going to bet Milwaukee right now. Then because of that bullpen situation. So
yeah, if Cincinnati's bullpen. Yeah. And by the way, Sims and who's the other guy who that pitched yesterday? Sims and Cruz. Those 2 guys. Do you like? Those are not the type of guys you could expect to have 2 clean outings against the same lineup in back-to-back days.
That is so true. I will give you that 100%. I will 100% give you that.
They were able to get the job done yesterday. Well, actually, I think they got hit up yesterday because the Brewers came back and came all the way back. It was like 9-8. So yeah, I like the Brewers here to bounce back. The
Brewers scored 3 runs in the 5th, 3 runs in the 6th, 2 in the 7th. So. Essentially, Cincinnati had 1 inning of 6 runs, and that was it. And they had a couple Ellie De La Cruz miracles, and that was it.
Milwaukee
inside the park home run.
Yeah, he did have an inside the park home run.
Exactly.
Milwaukee probably should have won yesterday. So I think this is going to be on my ticket.
Touche. Yeah, me too. Matt.
I like that Brewers angle. I have another strikeout prop for this one. I have Joe Ross over 5.5. This is admittedly very risky because he didn't have 2 years off. In his first start, he went 3.2 innings. He looked good, but I mean, barely even made it 4 innings. I just like this play from an odds perspective and from a matchup perspective. Like the plus 140, I think is what it's currently offered at right now. That's like a lot higher at plus 140 compared to every other book. So from an strictly odds play, it was good. And yeah, like most books have this around plus 110 with the closest being plus 125. So I just liked it from an odds play. And the Reds strike out a ton against right-handed pitching. Like they basically just swing for the fences every single time and either mash the ball or they strike out. They have a team strikeout rate of 30% against right-handed pitching. That's the second worst right now in the major leagues, only behind the Mariners. And they have, again, a ton of guys that strike out above the 27% number that's considered bad by Fangraphs. And a lot of these guys are everyday players, like Ellie De La Cruz. He hit 2 dongs yesterday. One was inside the park, whatever. Striking out 45.8% of the time against righties. Will Benson, 37% of the time. Christian Encarnacion Strand, 33% of the time. Jaime Candelario, 32% of the time. Tyler Stevenson, 30% of the time. It's like a ton of strikeout guys against the that the Reds have. And they have the second highest strikeout rate and the third highest team ISO rate against right-handed pitching. So they're just swinging for power every single time. And like I said, Joe Ross only went 3.2 innings last game. So this is admittedly pretty risky. But if he can get 5 innings deep, which isn't unheard of considering he went almost 4 his first game, I think this is a play for worth a play for the odds. So again, these plus money strikeout props, I'm putting a half unit on. They're not like full quote unquote locks that don't exist in sports betting, but I just like the spot.
So they're not full locks. Got it.
Correct. Not to mention, Ellie De La Cruz didn't strike out yesterday. I think that was his first time in his major league career he didn't strike out in a game. So you're almost guaranteed one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I did not know that. That's crazy.
I'm almost positive. I'd like somebody fact check me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive that's the case.
Someone said, "Why mention a play nobody can get at those odds?" Why wouldn't you be able to get it at those odds?
I literally just bet Milwaukee at plus 120 on FanDuel.
Yeah,
is he talking about the strikeout? Maybe, unless that changed since I last looked, which I guess is possible.
I'll check, but
I can check. Give me 1 second.
If that happened, it happened unintentionally. We wouldn't have do that.
Brewers are best offered at money line at plus 125, so you can easily get that.
Player strikeouts.
Yeah, it's plus 142 over 5.5.
What's this guy talking about? Just mute this motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? 49%.
We're like legit concerned.
Yeah, like you had me thinking like I'm messing up, giving out bad information. 47%, 42% in favor of Milwaukee. So, the community slightly agrees with us.
Modi, do you like my shirt?
I thought that was. I do. I was like, there's no way he's actually wearing anything like that.
Oh yeah, dude. I have a whole bunch of Phillies stuff.
There you go. Love it.
Actually, I have a whole bunch of Bryce Harper shirts. This is what I have.
I've got a Bryce jersey or two.
All right, so next game, and I can't believe yesterday that price with the Yankees. I had me wanting to bet the Marlins. The price was so sketchy. Thank God I did it because what I put on the show was Marlins first 5 or pass. Thank God I passed. Yankees absolutely annihilated Luzardo. Your boy Toast Puck's on the mound.
I know. I know.
But the thing is, I don't fully trust Rodon either.
Don't fully trust Rodon either. I wish Beaver was on the show. I don't want to steal his play, but Beaver posted a play last night, and I think it's the best play in this game. It's Yankees first 5 team total over 2.5. I don't know what it is now, but I don't need to tell you, or anybody needs to tell anybody that's watching this show how bad AJ Puck has been. His first 2 starts, he's made it 6 innings, given up 6 runs. He's walked 9 guys. It's just really, really bad right now. The Yankees should absolutely demolish this guy. I paired the Yankees with the Rangers. I think that you could pair the Yankees with somebody else. I would be absolutely floored if the Yankees lose this game. So I honestly think that having the Yankees under minus 200 is as almost like a discount because of how Rodon has been, because the Yankees have everybody available in their bullpen. They have everything that you could possibly want. I'd be absolutely floored if the Yankees lose this game.
Someone said, why not the full game team total over? I'm sure he's down to play that also, but they're probably just trying to isolate Puck.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Exactly.
Not that the Marlins bullpen is anything that should scare you off either, but.
No. Look on Beaver's. Beaver has a whole write-up on his Twitter. Go check that out. It's really good.
For me, before you go, Matt, I can tell you straight up, it'll be Yankees minus 1.5 or pass for me. I will not be touching the fish.
That's my play as well. Yankees minus 1.5.
Yeah, I mean. I might even be down to bet it. I'm not in love with laying the 1.5 run line with the home team, obviously, because if they're winning, they don't bat in the 9th inning and you lose 3 outs. But the Marlins coming off, they finally got their first win. Get smacked up yesterday. Puck on the mound. I don't see any reason to even glance at the Marlins here.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have said everything. The only thing I'll say is that, like, I'm not a huge fan of Carlos Rodon either. Like, looking at his advanced stats, he's admittedly been a little bit lucky to have the ERA that he has of 2.79. But the Marlins are literally dead last in almost every category you can think of against left-handed pitching. Like, worst WRC+, worst in WOBA, worst in WRAA, like, worst everywhere. And the Yankees, they hit up Luzardo yesterday. He's a much better pitcher. So yeah, that's that. You guys said everything. Those are the only leftover notes that I had.
All right. I'm you know what? I'm even going to write Yankees -1.5 on my list, but that's going to be at the bottom of the list. I don't know if that. Don't love laying the 1.5 with the home team. All right. We got. What was the results of the poll?
Yankees 77%.
Yeah, it looked. It's not popping up for some reason, but it was. Oh, here we go. 77% to 10%. So everyone's betting the Yankees here, and I mean, can't really blame them. Seattle, Toronto. JD before we started saying under 8 is his favorite bet of the day in this game.
Yeah. I am on Seattle first 5. Seattle first 5 money line -105.
You're going back to your boy.
What do you think? I'm scared of.
You should be.
Chris Bassett.
Why?
No, Modi, you missed it. So first start of the season, George Kirby, Toast and Kamish run. Oh yeah, his second start of the season, Toast and Kamish run here, and he goes. It was George Kirby versus the Cleveland, and Toast goes, I'm going for Seattle first 5 run line. Worst case scenario, they're up 1-0. And I was like, that's the worst case scenario. Cleveland was up 8-0 after 5.
I missed that.
It was electric. It was great television. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Everybody knows it's George Kirby till I fucking die, and everybody knows that. Chris Bassett, I will give him that he's been a much better pitcher at home in his past, especially in Toronto. But I do think the Seattle Bats are coming around. They looked like crap yesterday. A nice little home run late in the ballgame from J.P. Crawford. Maybe that helps a little bit. But this is just me bouncing back. I feel like if George Kirby is the pitcher that I think he is, he's going to bounce back against this, at least the best case scenario, a mediocre Toronto lineup right now. So, yeah, I like I said, Seattle first 5. It's super public. That scares a little bit. Not that the first 5 is public, but everybody seems to be on the Seattle. That's a little bit scary. But, yeah, Seattle first 5 for me.
See, I don't understand the first 5 angle, though, because Seattle should, in theory, have the bullpen edge here. Not necessarily because of rest, just because of the talent discrepancy. And Chad Green and Garcia threw 23 and 27 pitches. If you're going to go Seattle, you got to go full game, in my opinion.
Nope. I don't want anything to do with it.
No. No, that's a good thought. No.
If they don't score runs and George Kirby doesn't pitch well early in this game, I don't really have to worry about winning it late. So they're either going to play well, start, and George Kirby's going to pitch well, and I'm going to cash this, or they're not, and they're going to lose this game. But I don't want to deal with who's going to pitch out of the bullpen and who's not, because Chad Green is a dog, and I don't want him. I don't want to face him with Richards and Miza. I don't want to deal with that, especially if Bassett's pitching well. The Mariners' bats aren't going to do shit. So,
I'm down for the George Kirby bounce back, and I know Chris Bassett at home has been a spot you could bet him in the past, but Kamish said it best, and he was Bassett's first start of the season. He said Chris Bassett's skill set isn't the type of skill set that ages well, because he's very reliant on spin rate and velocity, and not the type of things that stick around into your mid to late 30s. So not sure how big I am on Chris Bassett this year, even in his home starts. George Kirby, every single baseball person I talk to is huge on this guy. Obviously, I got lucky there and got Cleveland against them in that one start, but I think against a Toronto lineup that, even though they've shown a little bit of signs of life recently, this is still not a lineup that I think is going to be very good against right-handed pitching. I think Kirby bounces back, and we're getting Seattle -105. I'll put it on my list. Seattle.
There you go. Whoever, I forget who it was, whoever you said their play was the under. That's what I have. I have under 8, -115 is the price. I also don't hate a no-run first inning, but it's at -128. I'm just not sure it's worth it at that price. This is more of a lean than a play that I actually locked in myself. It's more so just like Kirby. I do buy the bounce back, because if you look a lot of his stuff, like his ERA is 5.223, but his expected ERA is down to 2.37, so it's a little bit of bad luck. Well, Bassett, there's no bad luck. He's just been terrible. But both of these offenses are like bottom 7 in all major categories against right-handed pitching. So I lean towards the under, but again, it's not a strong play for me.
Someone said, Sauce, if you can get the ticket out of the way in the first 5, why do you want to go through the whole game? Because I think Seattle has the advantage in innings 6 through 9.
Not how it works either.
I think Seattle has the advantage in innings 6 through 9. They have the better bullpen and the more rested bullpen. So on the off chance that Kirby doesn't have his best stuff working and Toronto's up 4-1 after 5 innings, my bet's not dead because Toronto's bullpen is injured and gassed. So I think Seattle has the edge in the second half, so I don't want to cut that off from my bet. So 41%, 35% in favor of the Blue Jays. So community's actually leaning towards Toronto here, which I'm not 100%. I don't know why. I don't know what's really alluring about the Blue Jays in this spot.
I don't know. But
I mean,
the Mariners go down 3-1.
The Mariners can't hit, and if you believe the Blue Jays lineup are snapping out of it, but I don't believe that. We'll see. Can we talk Mets baseball for a second?
Hell yeah, we can. Hell yeah.
So this is the part of the show where we talk about the hottest team in the league. Scorching hot, coming off a big win.
Scorcher.
Look, Toast, do you know that if the Mets sweep the Braves in the series,
Braves are in first place?
they're in first place?
Wow. Hang the banner. First place in mid-April.
It's actually a familiar spot for the Mets. We're almost always in first place in mid-April. Hauser, absolute gunner, absolute gamer on the mound here. Tell me why we don't go back to the Mets.
I'm not gonna play their money line. I was thinking like Mets team total over. But yeah. First and foremost, the Mets bullpen is it's a lot of usage lately.
Diaz should be back though.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, you're right. And Ottavino and Rayleigh. I mean, there's a clear bridge there. You have that. I just think this is such a coin flip game with so many things. It's Mets or pass for me. There's no way I lay it with the Braves here at this price. Not to mention that Adrian Hauser looked decent in his first start. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was against Detroit, but 5 innings, only 3 hits and 1 run. You really can't knock him. And then going back to the end of last year, he only had really 1 bad start against the Padres. Besides that, he went on the road to Texas and pitched really well. He went on the road to St. Louis and pitched really well. He did have 1 start in Atlanta last year where he got rocked, but the previous start before that, it was not in Atlanta, obviously. He pitched pretty well, had 10 strikeouts and went 6 innings, only gave up 3 runs. So I do think that Adrian Hauser can keep them in this game. And then if they can obviously give it to Rayleigh and Ottavino and Diaz, there might be a path to victory there. So I'm not there with Ronaldo Lopez yet, personally. I think that you're going to be asking him to be, you're asking a lot for him to be a starter. And I don't really know how many innings we're going to get out of him. So if we get 4 or 5 innings out of him, and then you get to that Atlanta bullpen that's AJ Minter is gone, Pierce Johnson is gone. That's 2 of your top 4 arms. You're not going to see Iglesias unless they really have a lead, most likely, maybe in a tie ball game. So that's 3 of your top 4 arms not going. So it'd be Mets or Mets team total over 3.5 for me.
Yeah, it would definitely only be Mets for me here too. I know the Braves are a significantly better team, but I think the Mets have the starting pitching advantage here. Hauser look great. And by the way, we can go to the clips. I have spoke highly of Adrian Hauser even last year when he was on the Brewers. I'm not just saying that because he's on the Mets. I liked him last year as well. He looked really good to start the year. Actually, the Mets, despite having an ugly-looking rotation, they actually have a really nice pitch ERA from their starting rotation. They've all done pretty well. Mets bats are coming to life. I expected the Mets lineup to be a top 10 lineup entering the season. If you just look at the names on the paper, they have a lot of talent in that lineup. So I don't think it's crazy to think that the Mets bats are going to get hot here. That lineup's enough. The Mets lineup alone is enough to win 85 games. Just the names on that paper, especially when you add JD Martinez back to it later, whenever he's coming back. But yeah, I think the Mets have the starting pitching advantage, and they should have the bullpen advantage as well. Not in talent, in rested arms, even though the Mets bullpen is pretty gassed as well. One
point for the Mets bullpen. They're doing a really good job of striking guys out. They're 3rd in K percentage per 9 innings because I was doing my notes for our podcast last night. So that Mets bullpen, a little bit better, I think sneaky better than people think, and especially with this Atlanta team that likes to hit the long ball that can be susceptible to the Ks. I do think there's a little bit bigger edge in the back end of this game than people are giving the Mets credit for.
Yeah, it'll only be Mets for me. I put it on the list. I'm not sure if I actually bet it, though. I kind of wish I was getting like plus 180, but Modi?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to go opposite of you guys because I took the Braves -1.5. It's probably admittedly pretty square just because it's like backing the Braves. Losing Spencer Strider is going to hurt, but I don't know. I'm not a huge believer in Hauser. Like he had one good start this year. His expected ERA still 4.38. Granted, like expected ERAs, all these stats are wonky this early in the year. But the Braves offense, like it's number one in basically every stat you can think of against right-handed pitching. So I do think that they could get to Hauser. Whereas the Mets, yes, they're coming to life recently. So maybe this is looking at the whole season, not just recently, but like second worst WRC plus, the fourth worst WOBA, fourth worst WRAA, the worst ISO rate against right-handed pitching all year. And hey, Renato Lopez looked good in his first start. Only allowed one barrel, hard hit percentage of 31.3%, pretty good. Granted, again, it's only after one start. So I'm going back to the Braves at home after losing yesterday.
Yeah, I think the price. I think those first 5 games are just being way too heavily factored into this price. If you base on what we were expecting the Mets to be this year and what we were expecting the Braves to be this year, they should not be this heavily favored. I mean, the Mets have a lot of talent in that lineup. With this starting pitching matchup, I'm sorry, let me include that.
Also, and I know that I'm like the resident Braves hater of the world, but let's just be honest. The Braves are giving up a boatload of runs, and they're scoring a whole bunch of runs coming back. So I don't know how long that's going to last, but we'll see.
Yep, so poll is heavily on the Braves here, as you would expect. 53%, 25%. So community definitely leaning towards the Braves. Next up, Houston, Kansas City. I'm on the Royals. You guys already know. Toast, did you watch my video on this one? Did you?
Yes, I did. Sorry, I was on mute.
I'll go first. I'm on Kansas City. You got Christian Javier, who, let's face it, he's due for a bad start. He's off to a great start this year. He goes on the road where he's been worse over the course of his career against a Royals lineup that's given him problems. He's 0-2 with an ERA in the mid-5s in his last 2 starts against the Royals. Cole Reagans is looking elite to start the season. Not sure if we can really trust these Houston bats against lefties. I mean, I know they came through yesterday in a huge way, but you're getting the Astros coming off a 4-game series in Texas against their rivals. One of the biggest series of the early part of the Astros season just ended last night. No days off. Immediately fly to Kansas City for a much less meaningful series and try to hit off Cole Reagans, who's one of the hotter pitchers in the AL. I think Christian Javier is going to get rocked in this one. So I like the Royals at plus money, and I'll be betting this one.
I'm with you. You could just put that for me as well. I took the Royals as well.
Sorry, we're sharps. We can't apologize for being sharps.
Yeah, it's so sharp. I don't know anybody else picking the Royals today.
Really?
No, not really.
Go ahead. Back Houston is -130. That's a good pick. You should take that.
Okay. Put Houston under my name. I'll take the bad guys. You know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. Javier has been fantastic. He's due
for a blow-up.
Due for a blow-up. Got it. Okay. I don't know, man.
Oh, we're going to act like we didn't see Javier blow up every other start last year?
When's the last time Christian Javier has given up a run?
Exactly.
Wasn't he on fire to end the season?
Not that start. Oh, against Baltimore in last season.
Christian Javier over 4.5 walks.
11 hits.
Over 4.5 walks.
I'm on the bad guys. Let me check there's got to be a reason for this price. Let's check the bad guys bullpen really quickly. Because I was going to be a pass on this game, but now I want to see what their bullpen
They should be all right. No, they'll be all right. They should have Presley. They should have Hader. Should have maybe not Abreu. Montero should probably pitch if they need him. They should be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Houston or pass. I'm probably not going to bet it, but yeah, Houston for me.
Yeah, you're not going to bet it because you're making a wise decision. Kansas City had a day off. Houston just finished the series of the months of April and May. Houston just had their biggest 4-game series.
Okay, and I'll give you that, but they've also played the Yankees, Toronto, and Texas. This is going to be a big step down in class for a team like the Royals that has just got done playing.
It's called a letdown spot.
The White Sox in Minnesota, that for essentially their whole schedule, they played 3 games against Baltimore, and So again, I love Cole Reagans. I'm not this, but this price is
Royal spot. We'll see
what
it's decided.
If the Royals could hit right-handed pitching just like at league average, I'd be there. But they're just
they hit Javier though. He sucks against them.
Yeah.
Is that maybe I was looking at something wrong, but I was looking at the Royals against right-handed pitching. 4th best team ISO rate, 11th best WRC plus, 10th best WOBA, 10th best WRAA. Is that just all from the beginning of the year?
Yes.
That's me legitimately asking because I don't.
No. Yes, that's all. It's all beginning of the year. I don't trust this team versus right-handed pitching to save my life.
And if you wanted me to take it one step further, let's bring it up on the screen.
I mean, I think that they've had 2 games where they've scored 21 runs in 2 games. Besides that, it's all 3 or 4 runs.
Oh no, we're looking at Javier versus KC.
Yeah, it's 10 innings, 9 hits, 8 runs.
No, I want to show them the pitch mix. Kansas City. Oh, why isn't it? Damn it. Sorry. I don't know why this one's not coming up. But Kansas City, 16th against the 4-seam fastball, 13th against the slider. They hit his pitch as well. They're also 7th against the sinker. Oh, he doesn't throw the sinker. Never mind. They're 8th against the changeup. He throws a lot of changeups.
Yeah, but his is way.
His is way not going to hit the zone.
No, it's not even that. It's just he throws a rising fastball, so his changeup's going different. It's just a little bit different for me. It's just I see it a little bit different. That's all.
Royals up. Dodgers.
I wish I could get there.
Dodgers on the road in Minnesota.
Shout out Twins first 5. All that hate.
Yeah, that was a good pick. Good bet. And I had Dodgers money line. So we both won.
Yeah. That's what I thought was hilarious, is that everybody was pissed off that the Dodgers were losing, and then they came right back the next inning, and it was like, okay, it's normal.
All right, so Glasnow on the road.
I really want to do it.
Dodgers -1.5, right? What do we even? Stop it! You don't even have a good reason.
Look at the bullpen. Look at the bullpen and make that bet. Look at the bullpen and make that bet, Kyle.
I'm looking.
No way you can make that bet with that bullpen. No way. This is a Minnesota spot if there was one. I just don't know if I can get to the window with it. But this is a Minnesota spot. No question.
So no Phillips.
No Phillips, no Hudson. So your closer, your top 2 arms are done. Your top 2 arms
Joe
are
Kelly
down.
Can close.
Joe Kelly, please, God, bring his ass out there.
Joe Kelly's pretty good.
With plus 150 on the mound. Please bring him out there. Please. He's been pretty good. His ERA is close to 10 this year, bro. Not been good at all.
All right, cool. The Dodgers bullpen is taxed, but it's not going to be matter when they're up 7-1.
I'm not saying maybe you're right. That could be 100% true. I'm really trying to get to Minnesota right now. Again, Tyler Glasnow has been fantastic to start his career with the Dodgers, but it hasn't been like overly impressive. He's got 2 wins. It is what it is, but 3 runs against the Giants, against a Giants team that's at the plate right now. Last year, Tyler Glasnow went up to Minnesota, went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits and 4 runs. It's just a question of what do I get out of Louis Varland is for me. And that's where this whole conversation kind of stops. If I don't know what I'm going to get out of Louis Varland. If I can get, 4, 5, 2-run innings out of Louis Varland, and then I can go, Peguero, Milner, Payamps, or Uribe, I think that we have a path to victory. But if he gets absolutely shelled, and then we have guys like Bryce Wilkins and Bukakis or whatever his last name is coming in there for the Twins, it's going to be a different story. But I lean Twins. I haven't got there yet, but I'm really, really trying to. I really, from the bottom of my heart, truly think this is a Twin spot.
You can get Dodgers first 5 run line at -120.
Take it.
Matt, what do you think?
I would take the Dodgers here. I mean, it's Glasnow versus Louis Varland. I guess first 5 is probably where I would go. I guess you make a good point about the bullpen. I'd probably go first 5. It's not my play, but if you ask me for my opinion,
what is your play?
This is super square. Shohei Ohtani home run plus 280 at FanDuel. Dinger. It's my first dong play of the day. Ohtani has just been annihilating the baseball. He's got 3 home runs on the year, but if you take it further, he leads the MLB in hard hits with 24. The next closest guy is at 21. He's got at least 2 hard hits in each of his last 4 games, including obviously yesterday's game where he had the 2 hardest hits of the entire game. And the hardest one wasn't even the home run. It was a double with an exit velocity of 110.1. It's got an ISO rate of 32.7% on the year, 43.3% against right-handed pitching. He had a similar split difference between lefties and righties last year. Like his splits against lefties are obviously good, but against righties, it's out of this world. So it's the same thing last year with barrel rate, 18.2%. That's considered excellent according to Fangraphs. 5th best barrel rate in the MLB so far at this point in time. And 6 at-bats against Louis Varland. He's got a home run. That was also his last at-bat against him as well. Not a great hitter's park, obviously, at Twin Stadium, but the wind is blowing out, so that should help with carry. Hopefully we've seen Ohtani obviously go on absurd home run binges before. Let's hope we can get one today.
An Ohtani home run at plus 260. Probably going to be the most popular bet home run today.
Probably.
Well, and just to give you guys an example, Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases plus 105. Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 total bases minus 125.
Someone actually just gave out Leg Show Magazine said Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases at plus 106.
Yeah, everybody should be playing Mookie total bases pretty much on an everyday basis. Yesterday, I think like 7 of the 10 strikes that he was called on him wasn't strikes or something like that. It was absolutely a joke. So I think Mookie comes back in a big way today. So, I love that
money.
Play. Yeah, I love that play. I think Mookie over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 145 is free. I 100% believe that.
This game yesterday, we were on opposite sides on this one. I took the Phillies. He took the Cards. Went to extra innings. The whole time we had this game on, I'm sitting there rooting for it. Game ends. I go check. Didn't even bet it. I was watching. I was watching and rooting for the wrong game the whole time. I bet the Padres instead, but I forgot. I thought
the Padres, huh?
Yeah. I turned that game off, and the best was we had some comments on the show that came in like, "What idiots bet the Padres?" And those are always the best when your team comes back and wins. We had like 4 of them. People calling us morons for betting the Padres, and then when the game's over and you go back to look at the comments, deleted. All deleted.
Those are the best.
Somebody asked me if you were in your right frame of mind because you let me on the show taking the Rockies.
Sure,
that was a nice hit.
Ouch.
I believe on the show I gave out over in that one. Did it go over, Rockies? It did, right? I didn't actually bet it, so
it did actually in the late, because Arizona scored like 2 runs in the 9th. So yeah, it did go over.
Nice. It was at 10.5, I think.
Yeah,
now they remember. Yeah. Sonny Gray starting at plus money at home at Busch Stadium.
Yeah, I could get behind full game Cardinals. I'm on Philly's first 5 money line personally. Just as far as I feel like these two teams are pretty kind of close to even as far as bats wise, maybe a little bit of lean to the Cardinals against righties. But we're getting Zach Wheeler, who's absolutely dominated this St. Louis lineup. His last 3 starts against them, one of them in St. Louis. Or we'll just do it this way. His last 2 starts in St. Louis going back to 2021, 15 innings, 1 run, 14 strikeouts. His last 3 starts against them, including 2 starts at home, 21 total innings, 1 run, 20 strikeouts. Zach Wheeler has absolutely dominated this Cardinals team, and he's coming off a start where it was like a rainy situation. He struck out 10 guys, took a loss against Cincinnati. Probably shouldn't have taken that loss. Against Sonny Gray, who hasn't pitched this year, is coming off an injury. I don't really know what to expect from him. I just feel like the Phillies have a huge advantage in this first 5, but just don't play the Phillies the full game because their bullpen is absolutely taxed. Alvarado 3 of the last 4 days. Hoffman 2 of the last 3 days. Sir Anthony Dominguez 3 of the last 4 days. Gregory Soto 2 of the last 3 days. That's your top 4 bullpen arms for the Phillies. I don't know who's going to pitch today for the Phillies. I don't want to deal with it in the later innings. I'll take Wheeler over Gray right now, and then figure out everything else later. Excuse me.
And Strom's going to have to pitch 1 or 2 innings. Cardinals, Strom pitch into those righties in the Cardinals lineup. Cards are going to poke the Phillies in the second half of this game. What are your thoughts?
I think Phillies first 5, Cardinals full game is the way to go. I have Wheeler strikeouts. I have him over 6.5 strikeouts. It's minus 115 odds. Cardinals strike out a decent amount against right-handed pitching, 26.9% K rate as a team. Anything, again, this is according to Fangraphs, anything above like 27% is bad for an individual player. For a team, the average is 20. Last year, for context, the team that had the worst strikeout rate against righties was the Twins at 27.1%. And again, the Cardinals right now, and this will go down. These stats are so early, but 26.9%. They have 6 guys who I looked at striking out 27% or more. Nolan Gorman, 43.3%. Goldschmidt, 37%. Jordan Walker, just under 30%. Wilson Contreras, like 27.3%. And Wheeler's been awesome. He's been incredible to start the year. I think with Strider out, Wheeler might be my Cy Young pick. I don't know if that's a homer pick or not, but he's been awesome. He only struck out 5 in his first start against the Braves, but they don't strike out a ton. And then last start, he struck out 10 against the Reds, who do strike out a lot, but he still struck him out 10 times. He's got a strikeout rate, 31.3%. That would have been good last year for third best in the MLB, only behind Strider and Blake Snell. That number right now is at the 16th best, and then his K per 9 is 10.01. Right now, that's good for 13th best in the majors. So, yeah, I love backing Wheeler here.
I'm not overcomplicating this. Cardinals. Look, I know Wheeler's a beast, but if it was a scrub on the mound, if this was Michaelis, I could see maybe the starting pitcher matchup is too overwhelming to play St. Louis here. But Sonny Gray can deal. We're talking Sonny Gray's a scrub, man. Sonny Gray can pitch.
100%.
So
100%.
Cardinals at plus money at home when the Phillies have no bullpen. Not overcomplicating it. Give me the Cards.
Yep. I knew that
I got
the
a lot of
Phillies
plus money plays written down here, Toast.
I knew that the Cardinals were going to be. I knew the Phillies were going to be public. I didn't know it was going to be like this. But yeah, I knew that the Phillies bullpen was taxed. But I really wanted to isolate Wheeler against Gray.
All right.
And I got my Philly shirt on today.
Put my hat on.
Really quickly too. I got like 4 messages. First 5 team totals for DraftKings. You just go over to the innings tab, click innings, and then scroll down, and it will literally say team total inning X5, and you'll see it. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Okay, so next game, Oakland at Texas. Brand new series. Division rivals, right, Toast?
Yep. Huge rivalry.
What teams did I say that you got so
I can't remember.
You got so pissed off about it. I don't remember. I think it was Oakland, Houston.
Maybe.
You're like, these are not rivals. They are rivals. Matt, would you call the Athletics and the Rangers division rivals?
I mean, in the same division, I guess.
They are definitely rivals.
I wouldn't call them a rivalry. I wouldn't call it a rivalry.
The stretchiest right there.
Yeah.
It's the cheese in the middle. That's where
if you call this a division rivalry, you're not lying. This is a division rivalry. It's a division game.
I'll give you that.
It's stretching the truth a little bit.
I will say if Oakland was good and Texas was good, people would be saying, "Oh, division rivalry."
Yeah.
100%.
I'll give you that.
The rivalry doesn't disappear just because one team sucks.
I mean,
it kind of does.
When the Giants are 1-12, I promise you the game against the Cowboys still means something.
Football's different. Football's different.
I will say Giants, Padres, or Padres, Dodgers, Giants, Padres. Those California teams for baseball, same difference. I'll give you that.
Same with the AL West, man.
I'll give you that. Sure.
You guys are hating on Oakland.
I'm not hating. I've played Oakland.
That being said, I mean, on paper, Texas should score 1 million runs off Alex Wood.
I played Texas -1.5. Don't care if it's public. I mean, obviously it's clearly public. Don't care in any way, shape, or form. Nate Eovaldi has absolutely owned this team. Oakland going back, two starts against Oakland last year. One of them, he only had 2 innings. I can't remember. I didn't see if he got hurt or whatever, but in total, 11 innings, 15 strikeouts, 3 walks, no runs, 6 hits. Just absolutely own this team. And Nate Eovaldi's first 2 starts this year, 1 on the road, 1 at home, 7 innings, no runs against Tampa Bay on the road, and then 6 innings, 2 runs against Chicago at home. Obviously, the Rangers against left-handed pitching, especially at home, I think that they really get to Alex Wood. Rangers just got absolutely embarrassed by Houston the last couple nights. I think they bounced back in a big way today.
Yeah, there's no way I could even glance the other way here. I mean, you can, if you're looking to be a contrarian and look for a reason for Oakland and try to get to Oakland +1.5, you could say Texas coming off the huge series against Houston, but the reason I faded Houston is they didn't have to travel. Texas was home last night. They're home again. I feel like it's a little different. Houston had to fly and go to a different city. It'd be Texas -1.5 or pass for me.
And the Texan bullpen is ready, good to go, by the way.
Well, shit, they lost by 10 runs last night.
I know, but I just figured I'd say it.
I have Eovaldi over 7.5 strikeouts. It's actually way better odds now. It's at plus 164 currently at FanDuel, so it jumped up a ton since I got horrible CLV here, but I still think it's a good play. The Athletics are striking out. They're only one spot behind the Cardinals in terms of how often they strike out. 26.7% of the time. That's the 7th most in the MLB currently. That would have been second worst in all of last year. And come on, I mean, the Athletics team and organization is just in total shambles. They're playing in Sacramento starting next year for 3 years. I don't feel bad fading the Athletics, even though some of the young guys I don't hate. But they got 6 guys in the lineup who strike out over 25% of the time. I haven't looked at the actual lineup yet when that comes out. Obviously, you can confirm, but Brent Rooker striking out 53.6% of the time. Ryan Noda, 30.6. Zach Eloff, 29.7. Seth Brown, 28.1. And then both Lawrence Butler and JD Davis striking out 25% of the time. And Eovaldi's been awesome so far this year. 8 batters in his last start, throwing over 100 pitches, which is good. This early in the year, still throwing over 100 pitches. So far against the Athletics, 2 separate pitchers have gotten to 10 plus strikeouts. That was obviously one of them was the Shane Bieber masterpiece, who had 11. I think he's another candidate to get to 10 plus strikeouts against the Athletics. So if you want to get super juicy odds, you could take him 10 plus, but I'm just rocking with the over 7.5.
All right. Eovaldi over 7.5 strikeouts. Someone said, where's Prop Beaver when you need him to give us an Oakland play? Prop Beaver would come in with an Oakland first 5 here. No,
he's done Texas. I've talked to him.
He's on Texas?
Or he said Alex Wood against Texas, a whole bunch of beaver emojis. So that's always a good sign.
So you know what that means.
Arizona against Colorado. Obviously, D-backs heavy favorites here.
Crown me.
Yeah, it was really
crown
good
me
call.
For everybody that called me stupid and told me I couldn't read good. Looks like I can read just fine, can't I?
Yeah, so this is
turns out I can read good.
This one and the Twins' first 5 at plus money were some nice hits last night. I swept the board last night though, so I'm catching you in the unit count on the website. I think you're still up 2 units on me though, but I'm coming.
You know what killed me? And you're gonna laugh at this. What? Zach fucking Eflin on the road. I should have been 7-1 yesterday. My only loss was the first 5 under because he gave up 5 runs.
Who on the site gave out Angels at plus money?
God,
that was me. That was me that faded Eflin.
No, what pisses me off too, because it was exactly what I thought. The Rays wouldn't do nothing. Whatever.
Can't back Quantrill though.
No, love this. Love the Diamondbacks here -1.5. Played them -1.5 at whatever the number is.
I think I'll tell you on that.
-114. It might have went up just a little bit. It's -115 depending on where you get it, whatever. First and foremost, you see if you watch this show on a daily basis, I've tried to back Quantrill once this year. I actually might have done it twice. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I might have done it against Arizona as well. Tried to get back to, or at least tried to make myself think to where he was in 2022, that the talent was there. It's not. It is gone. It's not coming back. And don't even try to look for it. 9 innings, 13 hits, 9 runs, only 4 strikeouts, 5 walks. It's just all bad for Cal. And keep in mind, none of those starts were in Coors Field. So now he's going to a worse environment and facing a Diamondbacks team that's been really, really good at the plate. Doesn't matter if it's versus lefties or righties, but they have seen a lot of lefties. And Merrill Kelly on the bump for Arizona, who has absolutely dominated his Colorado team. It doesn't matter if it's in Colorado or in Arizona. His last 2 starts in Colorado, 12 total innings, 3 runs, 16 strikeouts, only 2 walks. He has 0 issues pitching in Colorado. Arizona's going to have everybody you would want in their bullpen, everybody that you need available in their bullpen today. I think this is an absolute smash mod for the Snakes.
Someone said, Toast, do you switch your bet? Someone says it's Troy Tulowitzki glove night.
Hey, Tulo, I got respect for Tulo. If it really is glove night, though, I would like to know.
I don't know. It's TWD that said it, so probably not. Someone said, as a new bettor, I like the show. Just wish you would interact with the chat more. Honestly, we used to. It's tough. There's a lot of people in here now. I mean, we used to be able to do it more, but if we sat there and read a lot of the comments, the show would be 3 hours long. So we do the best we can. We could try to do a little better, though. I think I'm going to tail Toast. I'm writing this down on my list. I don't know if this fully makes it because I'm not Yo, I'm 100% down to fade the Rockies coming off a win, fade Quantrill. I'm with all of it. Not 100% sold on the D-backs lineup. So, a little bit
Interesting.
I like them against lefties.
Give you that.
Modi?
So I'm actually going to be at this game tonight, and it's dollar hot dog night, dollar dog night in Colorado.
You're going to this game?
Yeah, it's $4. The tickets are $4.
You live in Colorado?
Hey, listen.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, not for long though. He's coming back to the East Coast.
Both of those are true. Anyways, I have another dong play here. It's Christian Walker, home run. Plus 300 isn't ideal for a home run hitter that's not basically like one of the main chalky guys, but it's actually it's better odds now. So it's plus 330 best offered price now. So I got another play that didn't get good at CLB on, but like he just annihilates Cal Quantrill. Like 6 at-bats against him in his career, 2 home runs and 1 double, including the game that these two teams played earlier this season on March 29th, where Walker just annihilated a baseball. And he's been hitting well against righties all year. That's obviously Cal Quantrill is a right-handed pitcher. His ISO rate specifically against right-handed pitching is 34.6%. That's well above the excellent threshold. And against lefties, it's all the way down to 5%. So it's basically the difference between like me at bat and Shohei Ohtani in terms of ISO rate between righties and lefties. Unsurprisingly, all 3 of his home runs this year against right-handed pitching. He's got the second highest barrel rate in the entire MLB at 25%. So he's been barreling the ball up very well to start the year. He had the second hardest hit of the game in this specific game yesterday between these two teams. Just had a low launch angle, so it ended up being a single instead of a home run because of the launch angle. But I mean, hard hit percentage of 57.1%. That's the 11th best in the MLB. I just think this is a great spot for Christian Walker, assuming they actually pitch to him and don't walk him every time. But yeah, that's where I went. And again, you can get better odds now than when I got it.
Man.
And just for the record, just to add to his point, Ballpark Pal has him top 10 as far as guys for run creation tonight, which is always a positive.
Man, dollar dog night at Citizens Bank Park. I've been to probably like 12 or 15 Phillies games. Citizens Bank Park is like an hour for me. And I've been to several. And I went to Dollar Dog Night one time, and I was like, never again will I be caught near you savages. Like, all the savages come out in Philadelphia on Dollar Dog Night.
They took it away. The whole city
because they throw the hot dogs
Dude,
at each other.
Public safety. The animals that came out for Dollar Dog Night in Philadelphia. I was there. Yeah. I was like, I'll never come back on Dollar Dog Night.
Passionate fans. I mean, come on.
Wasn't even wearing like Mets gear or anything. I was like, I think I'm gonna get jumped. Like this is crazy. Rays Angels. What's up, Angels? Greetings from Angels Nation. It's a great bet from me last night.
That halo up, right?
That was awesome. It was a good one. It was a no doubter from the beginning too. They took control early. That being said,
that's for sure.
Tampa up tonight. I don't know if you guys watched the video I posted, but this is a beautiful matchup for Savale. He's looked really good. He matches up well with the Angels bats. Angels have some really ugly-looking numbers against righties. Sandoval is a lefty. Tampa Bay against lefties. That's Prop Beaver told us before the season started. This Rays lineup should be overvalued against right-handed pitching, but they should be just as good this year against lefties as they were last year. So here we are against a lefty in Sandoval. I'm pretty sure Sandoval's coming off a good start, too. He had that ugly start, bounced back with a good start. Now it's time to get back to the ugly. I'm Tampa all the way here. I don't know, Toast, I don't know if you want. I'm down to do the money line. I'm down to do the first 5-run line. I'm down to even lay the 1.5. I'm Tampa all the way here. Toast doesn't like it, actually.
Nah. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this Tampa team right now. I really
Do you know what you think of Sandoval?
I think that it would feel really good for me to take your guy on the night that you're fading him and win with him. I think that would feel really good for me.
The thing about Sandoval and the thing about Patrick Corbin is you got to know their spots.
So here's the thing that bothers me with Tampa Bay is I don't know when we're going to see Pete Fairbanks again. Pete Fairbanks is their closer. He's been getting into a little thing with his manager. We haven't seen him for 3 days, and he's been healthy. I don't know what to expect from that. I guess Rays are past. It's really hard to back this Angels team to win multiple games in a row, but I guess besides Marlins. But I'm definitely not as high on it as you are. I guess. I don't know. Something about this Angels team just yeah, I don't know what it is. Mike Trout is really, really on fire right now. Taylor Ward is playing really well. Hoppy's playing well. Yeah, I'm just not as high as on the Rays as I think everybody else is. So it's going to be a pass for me. I don't have a play on this.
I think it would be, if I'm ranking these, I think it would be my third favorite. So it's not like I'm huge on it. It's just, me and Prop Beaver did the video last night. It was it's one of those where like the decision was easy to make. That doesn't mean like it definitely is going to hit. It's just the decision was easy for me to make here.
My two things is this: we haven't seen Savali on the road yet this year, and last year, LA really got to him. And what bothers me about that start last year is who got to him was all the kids. Neto got to him. Ohapi, Shamuel, 1-for-1. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, so Toast is sounds like he's more leaning towards a pass than playing Tampa. Modi?
Yeah, you helped my argument here. I have Aaron Savale over 5.5 strikeouts. It's minus 106 at Caesars, at least when I locked it in, and I just checked right before, so hopefully that hasn't changed too much. This is, of all the strikeout props that I have, this is probably my favorite one. Let me just make sure that the odds. So yeah, still minus 106, so you can still get it there. The Angels, so last year they were one of like the top strikeout teams against right-handed pitching. They're not striking out as much this year. But I just think this is a great spot for Aaron Savali. Like in 2 starts this year, he went up against the Blue Jays and the Rangers, struck out 6 and 8. So he would have gone over. And both those teams are striking out significantly less than who he's playing tonight in the Angels. The Toronto's about middle of the pack in terms of strikeout rate. And the Rangers literally have the lowest strikeout rate in the MLB against right-handed pitching, and he struck out 8 against them. As of right now, the Angels are only striking out 24.5% of the time. So it's right below the 25% number that I like. But I just think this is a really good play for Savale. He's got a strikeout rate of 31.11%. That's like Zach Wheeler numbers in terms of strikeout rate so far this year. And for what it's worth, I did confirm Ballpark Pal projects him for 7.5 strikeouts in this one. So it's a full strikeout and a half above the number we need him to get at. So yeah, this is probably my favorite play, like I said, of the day in terms of my strikeout.
Savale over strikeout. So maybe, because the Rays are juice a little, maybe a Tampa money line Savali 4+ Ks at plus 125 type of deal. Maybe I'll indulge in that. Actually, let me write that down. Savali. Okay.
And then someone in the chat asked, do I ever play on any teams to win, or is it all prop bets? Kyle can confirm for NBA, it's mostly props.
Yeah, he's mostly props. He doesn't have the stones to jump into the big boy pool.
Correct.
That's 100% correct. Yes.
Yeah, no, it is what it is. Why bet on a whole team when you can just bet on one player?
So
did you cap this game?
Me?
Kyle?
No.
Damn.
I had Nats Giants over yesterday. That came through.
I swept that Giants game yesterday. That was easy money.
What did you have? You had Nats team total over.
And Snell under 6.5 Ks.
Ooh. That's right. I do remember you saying that. No, I took the over 7.5, and it was 6-1 in the 5th, and they didn't score the 7th run until I think bottom 8. So I was sitting there like, this isn't happening. This is not happening to me. I need this game for the sweep. And then they got it. So yeah, I had the over yesterday, but it was a fade of Snell start to the season, and it was a fade of Trevor Williams. Now we're dealing with Harrison, a guy that Toast kind of likes. He said on a number of occasions he kind of likes this kid, and Josiah Gray. Oh, it's not Josiah Gray anymore, by the way.
It's Joan Adon.
Yeah, it's Adon. Is it Adon? I thought it was Adon.
Whatever. Sorry. Yeah. Adon.
Potato.
Prop Beaver has arrived in the office.
Well, hello.
So Josiah Gray, Adon versus Harrison.
So look, hey, let me talk really quick. I really want to take Nationals again and their team total over. I haven't bet it yet. I was really hoping that Beaver was on the show so I could talk to him about this to see what he thought about this. But it's at 3.5. It's not at the 2.5 number it was last night. But again, this Harrison kid, I don't hate him. I did like him a little bit, kind of. I'm not really there with him. I thought he would end up adding another pitch. He's one of those 2-pitch pitchers. And he's a lefty. And if there's one thing about the Nationals, I understand that they might not have fantastic numbers, but that's all they're seeing is lefties. Since April 4th, lefty against Perez, they saw Nolan, who's a righty, and then it's Suarez, Sanchez, Snell, and then Harrison today, another lefty. So I don't think that seeing a lefty, usually like it's that novelty, seeing a lefty can be hard for a lineup. All they have is seen lefties lately. So it's Nats or pass from Nats team total or over 3.5 or pass for me. That San Francisco bullpen hasn't been really good at all. And they used like multiple guys yesterday. So Duvall is available, but you're only going to see him if they're winning. Neither Rogers brother is really pitching well right now. And one of them went yesterday. All their middle relievers went a whole bunch yesterday. So I just can't pay this price with San Francisco. Don's been really, really bad, and they maybe an over as well. Maybe, I guess, if you don't really trust the Don, but there's no way in hell I'm laying minus 175 with the Giants in this spot. There's no way.
Yeah, this is a straight pass for me, Modi.
Same here, straight pass.
All right, our poll's all over the Giants. Let's move on to the last game.
I just don't see it.
I mean, maybe it's just a fade of Washington winning 2 games in a row, honestly.
True. And I could be looking like overthinking the lefty thing a little bit, but
Cubs, Padres. How about those Padres?
Yeah.
Another line that doesn't make sense. How are we getting Musgrove at such a cheap price?
I don't know. I don't know. It's Padres first 5 or pass. Can't trust the bullpen. No Suarez, so he's not going to close. He's went 2 of the last 3 days. Peralta went yesterday, and the way that they've been using him, I guess you're not going to see him today. So you're going to have Matsui and Cosgrove.
Hold on, the Cubs used Darris and Alzolay yesterday, though. They might be available, though.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to be available. They hadn't worked the 2 days prior, and both less than 20 pitches. So Alzolay only 11. So the issue is that I don't know anything about Ben Brown. So I fully expect Joe Musgrove to pitch well. I think the first 2 starts were kind of more of an anomaly than anything. We saw him really starting using that curveball, getting him over for strikes against the Cardinals in his last time out. I think Joe pitches well. I don't know what the Padres' first 5 run line is because I hadn't looked at it, but that's how I would look at it. I don't know if I'm going to get there yet. But yeah, it's Padres. Oh, Jesus. It's plus 100. That's kind of scary. Yeah, it's probably going to be a pass. That's kind of scary.
I don't. How is it minus 138 with Musgrove against a mystery Brown?
Ben Brown? Come on, have some respect.
Do you know who that is?
Throw me in.
No,
I don't know.
You're joking? I was going to say, I've never even heard of that guy before. So
I know that he was drafted by the Phillies, so I thought that maybe you might know him, but that was it.
I actually didn't know that. Fake fan. I didn't know that.
Fake fan. It was the 33rd round. I have his baseball reference open. I didn't know that off the top of my head.
Okay, I was going to say.
Wow. Modi, you don't know the Phillies' 33rd round pick?
The first 30 rounds, I know like the back of my hand, but after
we'll give you a pass on 33.
So I'll put Padres up for me because that's the only way I'd go, but it'll be a pass for me. I already have a bunch of plays written down, so I don't need to put this one on. Anything?
Yeah, for me, I have the year fee in this run. Yes, run first inning. It's plus 100. I learned last year that it's hard to make money consistently betting on year fees or nerf fees, so I'm not going to play nearly as much this year as I did last year. But I think, I did not think this was going to be for plus money. Like Ben Brown has not given up a run yet in the first inning, but against the Rangers, he gave up 2 runs in the second inning, 2 runs in the third inning, and 1 run in the fourth. And Musgrave has given up a run in the first inning in 2 of his 3 starts so far. And his expected ERA is even worse than his actual ERA. He's got expected ERA of 8.44. And the Padres in general, they scored the 3rd most runs in the first inning in the entire MLB this year. Now, admittedly, that's a little bit inflated because they scored 6 in the first inning against, I think that was Yamamoto in the Seoul series. So that is a little bit inflated. But overall, the Padres are 8-5 to the yes run first inning so far this year. I wouldn't be surprised if both offenses scored in the first. So as long as I'm getting this like for plus 100, which let me confirm that those are still the odds so I don't get yelled at. That's where I would play this. So yeah, still plus 100 at BetMGM, plus 102 at BetRivers. I would take either one of those.
Yeah, the Padres in the first inning can really score. They put up a 5 spot against the Giants. Yeah, they can really put them up in early if they get them up.
Someone said, bro, why are y'all scared to take the whole game? First five, or pass.
I don't know why. Are you guys all new to betting baseball? Like, I get so many messages, people asking me why I'm betting first 5. Like,
if you like the matchup between the lineup and a starting pitcher, why would you even need to why would you bring the bullpen into it? Especially if you got a bullpen who's gassed. I mean, it's a way to isolate value.
Yeah, imagine if LeBron only played in the first half. He played all 24 minutes in the first half of his entire career, and then he didn't play.
Imagine LeBron James and Anthony Davis didn't play in third and fourth quarter. Would you ask, why do you keep betting the Lakers first half? LeBron
Exactly.
they don't play in the second half. That's why.
It's totally different first five versus full game in baseball.
Yeah. Someone said a gassy bullpen is no good. So 47% Cubs, 46% St. Padres. Let's do a community parlay and get out of here. All right, so we got Cleveland, Brewers, Reds. I took the Brewers. No, they like the they agreed on the Brewers. Marlins, Yankees. They like the Yankees. Mariners, Blue Jays. They like the Blue Jays in that one. The people that asked about the person that asked on the first five, he should be exposing himself as someone that only bets parlays because he just wants to place the parlay based on what we say. And he's like, I don't want to add first fives into the parlay.
That's funny.
Which makes no sense either. Like, what's it matter?
You could also add that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't do it from the same page on the sports book.
Oh, yeah.
It's true.
That's a killer.
First leg is going to be Yankees. And when they're playing the Fish, who could blame the community for that one?
It is 7-1 Baltimore now with the bases loaded in the ninth. Let's go, boys. 2-0 start to the day.
Why didn't I post that?
I don't know.
I gave it out on YouTube and everything. Why didn't I post it on the site?
These early games, sometimes they sneak up on you.
Yeah, and I had an NBA show. Oh, yeah, you were on it. the NBA show this morning.
I remember.
I remember. All right, second leg of the community parlay.
Oh, I better do this. Yankees.
Oh, I can pull up the odds if that's what you're doing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm so used to. I used to always have to do it. And then Beaver, since I'm on baseball show, Beaver always does it. So now
You're back on it.
I'm back on the duty.
Yeah, Arthur said, Kyle, you had a video on Baltimore Moneyline. Yeah, but how we do it is we only count on our record on the website the bets that we post on there. So on YouTube, I gave out Baltimore Moneyline, but I can't count it on my record because I didn't post it on the site. So I'm trying to catch Toast right now. He's up about 2 units on me. I wanted to get that Baltimore up. I forgot to post it.
If it makes we're actually even because I forgot to post Nat's first five 2 days ago, so we're even now.
Dodgers money line is the second leg, so Yankees and Dodgers.
God, I want to take the Twins so fucking bad.
That's a bad bet. Don't take the Twins.
Yeah, they told me that yesterday.
I didn't tell you that about the Rockies. I actually understood your reasoning.
No, they told me that about the Twins yesterday.
Oh.
Not you. I'm just saying the comments.
Here's a good question that I think will actually be helpful. Can you explain what you look for in the bullpens? Like what makes them unavailable?
For me, 2 of the last 3 days, anytime they're used, especially this early in the season, if they've been used 2 of the last 3 days, essentially you can probably mark them as unavailable. I mean, only emergency situations would they be available. Also, if they're anything over like 23 to 24 pitches, anything in that range, you're really, really pushing it for the next day. Obviously, some managers can be completely different, but anything like that, anything 2 of the last 3 days or anything in that 20+ area as far as the next day, they're probably going to get some rest.
Someone said Twins did lose. We were right. Well, Twins won his first 5, though. He had Twins first 5 at plus money. Twins were up 2-1. All right. Next leg is, what was that? Diamondbacks?
Diamondbacks.
All right, so we got 3 legs, all chalky so far. The 3 second place finishers are Guardians, Rangers, Rays. All right, so those are the options. We got Guardians, Rangers,
Hopefully it's the Rangers. Ryan Noda just got scratched for the A's, so that's one less actual major league player that Oakland has on their trade.
One less.
I don't know though. I don't want to. It's a division rivalry. Someone said we're at plus 298 so far, so someone's got it open.
JD Martinez is now dealing with lower back tightness. He's got to get an injection today, and he's going to be done for another week. When are we going to see this guy?
That's so Queens. They get injections.
Guy goes in the Mets for 1 year.
I can't believe the Mets cut Teheran after one start. Gave him $2.5
I
million.
know.
Cut him
That was crazy.
The Mets, man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if they did that, they told him that he was only going to be up for one, but still, like, he pitched that well. You'd think he maybe
didn't really pitch that well. I mean, he wasn't terrible, but he didn't really pitch that well.
I mean,
they won the game, but not because of him.
Well, obviously not, but I'm just saying. Like,
Rangers money line is the last leg.
4 parlays, 437, 448 on DraftKings.
448 on DraftKings. So the community parlay: Yankees money line, Dodgers money line, D-backs money line, Rangers money line plus 448. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Tomorrow we'll be back in the morning for baseball because we have day games on Wednesday, and then we'll do so. Oh, I also have Tour Junkies coming on to do a live Masters betting show. So if you're trying to bet the Masters this weekend, that's
hell yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll have the morning day MLB show, and then at the end of that show, I'll bring the guys right on. So Toast, you can hang out. It's Tour Junkies. So if you want to hang out and be on there, so you can ask them any questions. So we'll do the day MLB games, then the Masters, and then in the evening we'll do the night MLB games and NBA. That'll be the plan for tomorrow. Everyone, make sure you give Matt Modi a follow. We appreciate him taking the time to come on. His Twitter's right underneath his face there. He also has a YouTube channel where he uploads his own stuff, Jedi Modi, right there, just written the same. So everyone, have a good one. Remember to bet responsibly tonight, and we'll be back soon.